Hey, it's D-Xtreme, and wow, I haven't made a wrestling related video in quite a while. It's been like a long time. Like I want to say since what? No, not since WrestleMania. It's the week of WrestleMania 28 when The Rock was coming in to do WrestleMania. That's when or was it 29? I don't remember. Anyways, I'm back, and I just got finished watching SmackDown. I know if you're watching this, thank you. If you're not, um, if you know someone who's into WWE, TNA, and all that stuff, then refer them. I'd really appreciate it. But enough said. So I just got to get a few things off my chest. Like I'm not here to rant. I'm just here to speak my opinion. Okay, one of my favorite wrestlers since his debut back in TNA was Austin Watson, aka Awesome Austin Creed, aka Consequences Creed, aka Xavier Woods in WWE. That's his name, Xavier Woods, and I really like this guy. He's very talented. He's I haven't really heard much of him on the mic, so I don't know if he's that good. But he's all right on the mic. He's done commentary with JBL and Michael Cole. He's been all right. So I think he's pretty cool. He's entertaining, very entertaining. If you've seen his personal YouTube videos, he's entertaining. But the reason I brought this up was I watch TVTrax, and I was listening to a video that I was listening to one of the TVTrax clips that Don Tony and Kevin Castle did on Xavier Woods, and it really made me think. I was like, no way they're gonna go through with this. Like, there's got to be something. And what I'm talking about here is how they brought in Xavier Woods onto the main roster. One, I'm happy as hell they brought him up. I was waiting for this. But then they did what I'm talking about right now, and I just can't believe it. How do you? I have never seen in wrestling history someone literally steal another person's gimmick. And if you're going to steal a gimmick, this is the worst one to steal. That's my personal opinion. Um, I really don't understand this. So you had now whose gimmick does he steal? Brodus Clay's. Why? Why did it have to be Brodus Clay of all people? You see, the one thing I did like that they did when they brought Xavier Woods in, and like I'm not best friends with Xavier Woods or anything, but I'm friends with him on PSN, so that's actually pretty cool. I've actually talked to him before, and stuff. He's a nice guy. But the one thing that I thought was pretty cool was that they brought him in, and they instantly put him with R-Truth, Ron Killings. Like that was his first real tag partner in TNA before they put him with what's his name, Jay Lethal. So I thought that was really cool. They worked together. Plus, it's kind of this thing of like Ron Killings is on the way out, so the best thing for him right now is to work with younger talent. So it makes sense, and I'm just like, all right, but I'm just in a maze right now because the Brodus Clay Funkasaurus gimmick and stuff was made strictly for PG. Like having that was like the whole entrance, the whole kids having the Funkadactyls, Naomi and Cameron. That was like, you see, a part of me wants to compare this to Too Cool, but I'm not going to do that. No, Too Cool was for multiple generations. Like anybody could enjoy Too Cool. Hearing somebody call my mama is just. It was funny when Ernest the Cat Miller did it, but Brodus Clay, it only works for the little kids. Because Brodus Clay, he's this big guy who's like, he was nice to the kids and then they turned him heel, which is a good thing. I'm going to say if anybody is benefiting from all this shit, it's Brodus Clay. That's what I got out of Don Tony and Kevin Castle's little video clip that I listened to. They were saying if anybody was going to benefit from Xavier Woods stealing the gimmick, it was Brodus Clay. But, like, where does that leave Xavier Woods? Well, at first, I thought it was just going to be the gimmick. And, like, I actually liked what he was doing. He was on commentary a few times. I saw this happen multiple times. He'd be on commentary during a match of R-Truth or something. And he'd be like, I can't take this anymore. He gets on top of the table. And then he calls for the Funkadactyls. And they start dancing. So I'm thinking, okay, that's cool. Like, the Funkadactyls are gonna keep the theme. They're gonna be the ones that come out to Somebody Call My Mama. That's their thing now. Cause Tons of Funk, the name of the group, which it was Brodus Clay, Sweet Tea, aka Tensai, and of course the Funkadactyls. That was the whole group of Tons of Funk. And I thought R-Truth and Xavier Woods were gonna come out to R-Truth's theme, and that's how it was for a while. And I was liking that because it was like he was like, it was kind of like he was an entertaining ladies man or something. That's what I got from it. But then to have him on SmackDown today, this is the first time I saw this. They literally gave him the theme. They just gave him Somebody Call My Mama. And he beat Fandango, and that was it. And he did his little dance afterwards with the Funkadactyls, and I'm just... Some people on Facebook that I've been talking to have been saying that this is better than what he was doing in TNA. And his original TNA gimmick was the same gimmick he had on the indie scene, which was that of, he portrayed basically that of Apollo Creed. He was Consequences Creed. So it was just like he wore the red, white, and blue and stuff like that. And it was a boxer gimmick. But, so I think that it's a step up, but a step down. Like, this is trapping him in mid-card hell. The only thing that is going to benefit him is if either he... Like after WrestleMania 30, either he has to turn heel or R-Truth has to turn heel, and they have to feud. That's like what I want to see happen because I like, I'm not saying it's best for every tag team to eventually break up. I mean, if you want to have these guys become singles stars, then yeah. And I think that Xavier Woods could be a good, successful single star. WWE champion? Hell no. And it's not that I don't like I mean, why do I keep saying R-Truth? R-Truth should have been a WWE champion. It's not that I don't like Xavier Woods. It's just how WWE is run, and how, like, the fact that you just have to have certain things, and I don't see it happening. And so the best thing that I'll see him getting is either the tag team titles, and a mid-card belt like the Intercontinental or the U.S. title, and then possibly, like, he'll be over like how R-Truth is over. Like, he'll get the big pop of "What's up?" or whatever his new thing will be. But here's my problem. Do you leave him being just the child's entertainer, like how Brodus Clay was when he came back as the Funkasaurus, or it's sad, really, because it's like, it makes you think, what did they just not have anything planned for him? The only thing that they keep doing is promoting the fact that he is getting his doctorate, and he's going to be Dr. Xavier Woods. Maybe, like, once he gets his doctorate, that's when they'll change his gimmick. But it's like, they literally had this guy steal a gimmick. I'm just... That's sad. That really is. And that's my personal opinion on that. I wish Xavier Woods. I wish him the best of luck. Another person I want to talk about is Caitlyn. Damn. I wasn't the biggest Caitlyn fan when she first came on the scene in NXT, and I know the Deluxe man and those guys over at Wrestling Paradise, man, they loved her. Um, there's a plug right there. Check them out, please. Um, I wasn't. I was instantly like on NXT. I was instantly rooting for AJ Lee, and she didn't win, of course, but she was entertaining. Like even when that all female season of NXT ended, and like they just continued, they did NXT Redemption or whatever. Um, like it was, she was entertaining, and so she wasn't used at her highest potential on the main roster. That's all I can really say. And like, it upsets me that like they couldn't have done more with her. The part that really the part that really gets me is just like, I get what WWE, and this is kind of a transfer over to a different topic. WWE had to release, like, because they were getting closer and closer to the announcement of the WWE Network, which they just announced yesterday. They had to they wanted to release different stuff like Total Divas, the reality show, and I'm just like, I gave it a shot. That's what connects my girlfriend to wrestling, is she watches Total Divas. I watch with her, and so I'm into it a little bit. Like, I can't stand people like Eva Marie. That's someone who shouldn't be in wrestling ever. Like, really, like that. Let me put it to you like this: Eva Marie is everything that was wrong with the Adriana, the lady who plays Cameron in WWE. Everything that was wrong with her when she first started on Tough Enough, like, because she was the first one eliminated, and when Stone Cold asked her, "What is your favorite match?" she probably said the first match she saw like that month, which was her first match ever or something. So, and that, of course, was a SummerSlam match between Melina and Alicia Fox. But that's how stupid it is, Eva Marie, and I just can't stand it. And it's like, when I first saw Total Divas, and like when they first had it, they did approach it like it was going to start their own personal feuds. Like, the Bellas were going to continue to be heels, and they were feuding with, let's say, Natalya. Natalya was the big baby face of the show, and it was working. But then they split it up, and they are not a faction. This is not a faction. They just instantly bury the roster by having it. There are the Total Divas and the non-Total Divas, and that's what they say on commentary. And the fact that they spend all this time promoting a show which is like, it's done with its season, it won't come back until like March, is embarrassing. And they could have used this time to promote like a storyline with Caitlyn or something. And Caitlyn had her very last tape match yesterday on Main Event against AJ, which was really good. You should look for it. And it's just a shame that stuff like Total Divas and the focus that that's been getting is keeping these ladies aside. And I'm just like, I could say so much about that show. The fact that Eva Marie and JoJo, I don't like either of them, but the fact that these two quote unquote newbies have already had not just a match on Raw, but like, they have been on a pay-per-view match card and competed before Paige even debuted, that just hurts. Like, why couldn't you think the smartest thing to do would be keep them on the show and yeah, they're the newbies, and like expose them to the world of the WWE, but show them more so like when it comes to wrestling in Florida doing NXT, because that's where those two girls need to be. I don't care how high like people like Vince McMahon think of Eva Marie. She needs to be in NXT with JoJo right now, and Paige needs to be up. Yes, Summer Rae is here, and I'm happy she's finally wrestling. But it's like, damn, um, I don't want to talk about that anymore. So, I earlier today, being Friday, I watched a replay of yesterday's Impact, and I already knew that AJ Styles' contract was up, so people who feel confused, there's nothing to really be confused about. That was a recording, and AJ Styles is no longer with the company. It was a one-time quote-unquote storyline deal that he had a match with champion Magnus to be the undisputed TNA World Heavyweight Champion, and Magnus won. I Oh man, TNA. Just TNA. Oh man. I don't hate TNA. I try not to say I'm gonna hate a company, but there's so many things wrong. Like, I'm not gonna be a WWE mark and say, oh, I'm gonna bash TNA right now, but Dixie Carter. Dixie fucking Carter should never have became a character on TNA. They, like, you know what I would have preferred if the wow, this just literally this, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? And this is coming out of my head. Remember the Claire Lynch story and how much heat Claire Lynch got? Imagine if because of legal actions or some shit, Claire Lynch became the general manager when Hulk Hogan left. Yeah. Just, I mean, like, if you want to have a villainous female figure, it's just at the point. I'd rather have Claire Lynch than Dixie Carter. Dixie Carter tries to pull off this, oh, I'm sexy, I'm... God, I hate Dixie Carter. I mean, she's probably one of the sweetest women that you'll ever meet in person. Like if you went to her house, I'm pretty sure she'll bake you a batch of cookies, like you were her kid or some shit. But she is stupid as fuck when it comes to wrestling. And I know if you're listening to this and you're really gonna defend TNA, then you're gonna be like, well, fuck you and this. Well, I don't care. This is my opinion, and I decided to record this. And you're listening. If you're listening, if you don't like what I gotta say, stop listening right now. But Dixie Carter, like the whole storyline with EC3, I like it. I like him being like the spoiled rich nephew and stuff like that. But the corporate champion, if you will, that's Magnus. I mean, like, we've seen this before. Um, I just I just get a very negative feel about Dixie. I understand TNA is a very southern country based wrestling promotion, so it's like everything like here's my thing. When you are going to be a big boss villain, you need like, and this is a big part of wrestling. A very successful wrestler has a theme that's going to affect the crowd. Now let me ask you something. When you hear Dixie's Carter theme, now I don't care if it was her old theme or this new kind of what is that damn thing called? I know I'm having a brain fart moment. Like the very intro of her it's kind of like a remix of her old theme, but it's got like more so southern instruments in it. Damn, a violin, I think it is. when you got like a violin mixed in this, like that doesn't really do too much. A southern violin does not do too much to make your song sound villainous. And if you listen to the lyrics of the song, she's saying, "Oh, I'll never give up." And I know this is like one of the smallest things to complain about, but a real villain doesn't have a song that's going to be talking about that. You're going to talk about like like perfect example, Vince McMahon, No Chance in Hell. That is like, there is a reason he has never changed songs. And that is because when you are the owner, the boss, and you go up against him, I mean, despite the fact that in story he is like, he has been stunned, he's a lot of bad shit has happened to Vince. But the fact that he is the boss, his theme is basically making the statement right there. If you go against him, you're going to lose. WCW, you lost. You know, that's just where I stand on it. And it's like, damn, you need to TNA. What was it, Dale Oliver? Yeah, he does the music. If somehow this ever gets to Dale Oliver, really think about the characteristics of the people you have to make music for. You know, like, yes, Dixie's a Southern Belle or some shit, but really make it sound like her music should literally sound like you're making a deal with the devil. Not like satanic, but like, I'm talking like real, like if it's gonna be Southern, it should be Southern, like old fashioned Southern, like them damn Yankees type of music or some shit, you know. And that's a very old reference for those who've never heard of that movie. But I'm just like, I can't stand Dixie Carter. She just always she looks like she doesn't belong, and she really doesn't. And AJ Styles said it best, despite he was acting. You don't get it. She doesn't get wrestling. She never will. And I listened to the Solomonster, another plug, and he said that he predicts that 2014 will be the year that he doesn't think that TNA is going to die, but he at least thinks it will be the end of the Carter era. So someone will buy TNA. And it's sad because a lot of people think, Jeff Jarrett left because he wanted to. Jeff Jarrett left because he couldn't stand what's going on in TNA. Like now he's pissed, and I don't know exactly Jeff Jarrett's plan with Toby Keith, but I'm pretty sure that one thing that was really involved was I think he was trying to get Toby Keith to become the new owner of TNA. And if that would have happened, and like that would have been pretty cool. But then you'd have to erase Dixie Carter, and EC3 would probably he'd probably like get buried or some shit. I don't know, but I would have liked that. Now I'm gonna end this with like one more small little topic of Ryback, the former Wrecking Ball. Oh my god. I can understand, like, Vince McMahon when when the Ryback character was created. I can understand he wanted to basically create his own Goldberg. Like, he didn't have to have that long of a streak, but still. Here's what I think was the biggest mistake. Well, there were two big mistakes that happened. Okay, no, I don't. The whole thing about The Rock coming back, like after WrestleMania 28, when The Rock instantly announced that at the Royal Rumble he was going to face whoever was the champion, and you already had CM Punk as the champion, and he was going on talking about how, I'm going to be the longest reigning champion. That alone should have cemented it that he was going to just face The Rock. They should have never, like, that whole match at Hell in a Cell. It should have either been Ryback won and then lost on Raw, like the rematch, or he just never should have been in that match, or he could have lost to CM Punk at Hell in a Cell, ended the streak right there because of Brad Maddox, and then won the Royal Rumble. Now, for Ryback to win the Royal Rumble, I know what you're thinking, what the fuck? And but then have him win the World Heavyweight title, that could have been successful. The only thing is, like, I understand a little bit about how things were working, and if you really think about it, John Cena had to win the Royal Rumble that year, not just because he had to face The Rock, but how many years was that prior that whoever won the Royal Rumble did not main event WrestleMania? Let's see, prior to WrestleMania 29, see, 28 it was Sheamus, and 27 it was Alberto Del Rio. So for 2 years prior to that, no, I think it was 3, because of yeah, it was 3 years, because shit, who won the Royal Rumble the year that John Cena took on The Miz? Because I know he didn't win the Royal Rumble again. That would have been his 3rd Royal Rumble win if he did, but he didn't. Oh yeah, Edge won the Rumble that year, and he took on Chris Jericho, which is like in the middle. It didn't start the show out, which was pretty good, but still, that's 3 years of having the Royal Rumble not be the main event. And if Ryback would have won, then, I mean, he should have won for his character, but for the value of the Royal Rumble, then, like, that would have been very bad. And I guarantee you, if Batista does not win the Royal Rumble this year, then the winner, well, no, I take that back. Whoever wins the Royal Rumble is going to main event WrestleMania, because there is only one title now. So, the only thing that could top it is if John Cena faces The Undertaker. And, as much as that should happen, it's not. But, Ryback, I mean, like, there was just so many opportunities that just went down south. And now that there's only one title, it's going to be a lot harder. The only thing that I can say, and this might be my only idea to like save Ryback, because I don't wish injury on anybody, because that could take years off of your career. So I don't pray that Ryback gets injured. But this is what I do hope happens. Make a kayfabe injury, write him out of the story or something. Give him time off. I don't want to see Ryback for, let's see, I want him in the Royal Rumble, but I don't want to see Ryback at WrestleMania. So, I don't want to see Ryback come back until SummerSlam. I would not mind that. Like, they don't even have to hype it up. Like, he just comes back at the end of SummerSlam and destroys somebody, and then put him back on that pedestal of, like, he doesn't need Curtis Axel, fuck Rybaxel, whatever. Oh my god, that is such a horrible name. And I'm going to talk about Curtis Axel next time, but this is going to be a continuous thing for all my listeners and stuff. I just want to say, shoot some names out there in the comment section as to what do you think I should call this series. I'm trying to figure it out. I'll probably just say, like, D-Xtreme Talking Wrestling for right now, but I'll figure something else out. So, yeah, help a brother out. And thanks for listening. I'll be back later. Peace.